Thank you for coming to the presentation today. Today we're going to be talking about selling. Is it like a little raspy? Is it fine? Is it good? All right, cool. All right, cool. We're going to be talking about selling and scaling with Shopify. So I'm here to essentially convince you and show you why I believe Shopify is the #1 e-commerce platform to sell your books on by far. I don't think really anything does compare to Shopify. So jumping into it, it is very important to remember that Shopify at its core is an e-commerce based platform. That is everything. That is what it specializes in. So it's very important to remember that. It is by far, out of any other e-commerce platform, it is by far always the most up-to-date platform as well. And out of any commerce platform that I have ever seen, Shopify has always had the highest conversion rate. And we're going to get into conversion rate as well in the future. If you're not familiar with that, but it's always at the highest, and that's very important. So before we jump in, why should you trust me? Well, my name is Cameron Snow. I always do want to preface, I'm not an author. I've never written a book, maybe in the future, but I do love marketing. And over the last 4 years, I've worked with over 500 different brands in over 300 different niches, spent and advised about $60 million on Facebook, Google, TikTok, and Snapchat ads. And I've also helped with optimizing overall businesses in terms of email funnels, organic content, but now I just work with authors specifically. And throughout this time, I've learned a lot about business, scaling it, the ups, the downs, everything, a lot of mistakes along the way, and to obviously get better. And so I'm here to essentially share those with you. So hopefully you can get to where you want to go much quicker and you don't make those mistakes as well. So before we jump in, I do want to jump into this real quick because it does play in terms of Shopify and really overall business is the 3 essential rules of business that I have learned. The first is going to be mastering the right mindset. Now it does kind of sound cliche and kind of maybe obvious, but the main thing is never telling yourself you're not good at something, especially when it comes into something new like Shopify. If you say maybe something like, I'm not very good at tech, or I'm not very tech savvy. I hear that all the time. Or I'm not good with ads. I'm not good with marketing. I hear it all the time. And right when you tell yourself that, it makes it nearly impossible to get good at it. So if you ever do find yourself, and I do this even too, whenever you find yourself saying something like that, just try your best to switch your mindset and believe that you can get good at it. It just takes the right information. The second is going to be committing and sticking with your strategy. So when you jump into something new, maybe it's fun, maybe it's easy, maybe it's even a little bit hard, but it's new. After you stick with it, it's going to start getting harder and harder once you get into it more. Typically, that's when you're right on the edge of breaking past that, and you're going to essentially reap the rewards of what you've put in, but you just have to break past that point. So it's going to take a little bit of time, and it's not going to be immediate success because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Especially in terms of overall business, what I've seen is that any business that wants to scale, they need to stay simplified. So simplicity scales and complexity fails. Whenever you start adding too many variables to a business, it becomes much more difficult to scale, and the chance of success when you're scaling becomes more difficult. So whenever you are thinking about, say, like you don't need like 8 different traffic sources and 3 different websites, you need just like 1 or 2, just nail them down, get good at them, and you can scale with those. And same thing in terms of the website, just one offer to bring people in, and you can scale that way. So jumping into Shopify and selling direct. So why Shopify is the best platform. Shopify is a dedicated online store for your brand. So a lot of authors also will use this as their website. We're going to get into that as a sec. But it also provides a very seamless buying experience for your readers. It is very, very seamless, and a lot more people are getting more used to purchasing on Shopify. They have that feel to them that people are used to now. They offer, with their payment, it's like the most secure payment, so like your readers would never have to worry about anything in that case. And then very, very simple shipping integrations, and then BookVault just came out with some new stuff. That makes things very, very easy in terms of paperbacks, and we'll talk about BookFunnel too for the ebook and audiobook side of things. They also offer very customizable and very simple and seamless templates and designs that you can match with your brand. So they give you the best format to start out with, and then you can make small tweaks to obviously fit to your brand in the future. They offer very, very simple integrations with sales channels. So sales channels are things like Facebook ads, TikTok Shop, Google, YouTube, anything of that sort, Snapchat even, anything of that sort to integrate into Shopify. They offer that. So that way you can maximize your reach. They're also available in 175 different countries, which is very important, which we're going to get into in the future, because when you want to look to scale your ads, international is, you can literally just double your sales overnight if you have the right structure with international. So that's very important. And then as well, it's going to increase your readership and generate repeat business just because of how seamless the process is. The easier it is for someone to purchase that first time and get the book, the more likely they are to come back. And then as well, you're going to be able to collect pretty much at any data point that you could think of. I'm going to show you about the right ones you want to look at. Any data point that you can think of, you will be able to get through Shopify to really be able to break things down. So some other great things is when you are selling on your own store, there is zero competition with other authors, unlike Amazon. It is your store. People are going to your store when, doesn't matter where they go on this store, they're only going to be seeing your books. You're also going to have much higher profit margins as well. So you're going to keep 100% of the profits minus like 2.7% of the credit card fees. Everything else is yours. And I forgot to add this in, but it's not 30-day payouts. It is daily payouts. So at the end of the day, then the next day, all the money that you made that previous day can go into your account, which is helpful, especially when dealing with scaling at the beginning, to be able to filter that back into the ads. But that's just an extra benefit. It's also a direct connection with your readers. So just like no competition with other authors on your store, it's a direct connection with your readers. They're purchasing from you. It's a completely different experience to be purchasing directly from someone rather than purchasing, say, from Amazon, of course, to where they're the middleman at that point. You are direct with the readers. And this plays into building a loyal customer base. Once someone purchases from you once, it's much, much easier to get them to purchase from you again. So in terms of Shopify, it is a central hub for your readers. So readers really want a dedicated place to engage with your content. Just like with your organic profiles, this is the same thing. It's the same thing in that sort in terms of having a website. It's great for them to learn about you, yes, but in the end, they want your books. Your readers want the easiest way to get your books possible, and that is what Shopify is doing. So it does allow you to host blogs, newsletters, about yous, anything like that. But in the end, it is built around selling, which obviously selling is the most important thing. Your readers want to buy from you. So that's what we want to optimize the store for. And readers in general, and people in general, they want to be entertained much more than they want to be informed. And so that plays into getting them to your books as quickly and as seamless as possible, so that they can actually, them reading your books is going to pull them into your brand much more than reading a lot of blogs. Them reading your books is going to pull them in a lot more. This is also going to build that loyal community and establish your brand with the readers buying your books. So what do you get with Shopify? So if you have a Shopify store, we're going to talk about Facebook pixel data a little bit later, I believe. If not, so at the end, I also have a small thing to walk you through how to set up the Facebook pixel on your store as well. But you're going to get, with the Facebook pixel connected, you're going to get all of this data in terms of it's going to track who's on your store, what site or what pages they're going to, if people are adding to cart, if they're initiating checkout, if they're adding their payment info, if they're purchasing, how much they're actually spending. And you're going to get all of this pixel data, and it's going to continuously stack up over time. You're also going to get your LTV, which is very, very important. That's how much your readers are actually spending with you over their lifetime. So this plays into how much we can spend to acquire a reader, because if we're spending less and your readers are worth more, you're going to make more in the future. You're also going to get their name, their email, their SMS, and be able to reach out, their SMS, their phone number, to be able to reach out to them in the future. And these are readers that are actually purchasing from you, so we know that they're very, very high intent. We know that they're invested in your brand. So why some others fall short. I'm not dissing on any of these. They're great platforms, but I still think Shopify is the best. So we have things like Wix, Squarespace, PayHip, WordPress, and WooCommerce. These, besides WooCommerce and PayHip are good. I still think Shopify is by far better, but they are great for general website building. I will say they are great for that. It's very limited when it comes to selling, and everything comes down to selling when you want to sell your books. So they're not as optimized for a seamless buying experience. They're really not. They don't compare to Shopify. They do also lack a few specialized features, especially with the apps. We're going to get into that in a sec, but they lack a lot of those features. And they do require quite a few additional plugins and customizations to make it how you want it to, where Shopify gives you that right when you start. Right when you open up the store, you have a great converting site. Just a few other small points. 24/7 customer support, they're great too with helping. There's a Shopify Academy, tons of free trainings and tutorials. They're always keeping those as updated as possible. Documentation to help. And then they're always looking to boost their sellers' knowledge so you can grow your business as well. They're really in the business of helping you make more, because they're obviously a business, so that would help them make more. So makes sense for everyone. There's also great tailor-made plans. It starts off, you can get your first 3 months for $1 per month, which is great. Just you can set up your store. Literally takes like 7 to 14 days. If you have like 20 books, you can get everything set up. So you can choose a plan that fits for you. It should be around like $29.99 to $39.99 per month to start. There's tons of flexible options, and they're very transparent with their pricing. I feel like I'm pitching them, but no. They're so jumping into harnessing it for direct sales. So readers are buying directly from you. You can also personalize their shopping experience. You can add small tweaks to build into your brand. You have access to their customer data, and you're going to also build a lot of trust and brand loyalty. So jumping into conversion rate, this is very, 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 very important. Conversion rate is, if you're not familiar with it, conversion rate is, say you have 100 people that went to your site and 3 people purchased. That would give you a 3% conversion rate. So that could be any number on both sides. It's just a division of how many people were on your site, how many people purchased. That's conversion rate. Now, Shopify, out of any e-commerce platform that I've ever seen, has the highest conversion rate possible. Out of any business that I saw that switched from another platform over to Shopify, their sales immediately increased and their conversion rate went up, just because of the overall structure of Shopify and the subconscious. People are just used to it. Seeing a Shopify store, the conversion rate went up. Their checkout process is extremely simple. They actually just updated it over to a one-click or one-page checkout. And a lot of people also save their payment info inside of Shopify. And so it's literally just one click to actually be able to pay. Makes it very, very easy. The more people that do that too, the more people that are going to save it, and it's going to make it better for everyone. So keeping things simple. This is a really nice thing about Shopify product pages. Product pages really come down to everything when you're scaling, because you're sending traffic there. You want to make sure they're as optimized as possible. You can see here that, and one other piece too, if a customer is confused ever in the buying experience, they will never buy. That is just one thing in terms of marketing. If anyone's ever confused, they're never going to buy. So you can see here, this is our Shopify product page. We've done a lot of testing on this page. You can see it's just very, very seamless. You have the product name, you have the images, you have the reviews, the price, you know exactly what you're getting. We also came from an ad that prefaced what they were going to be getting as well. And you can see we have a quick add-on right there to add on the audiobooks. It's just a nice, simple buying experience. So that's how you can go ahead and keep things simple. I'm going to go through how you can set all this stuff up at the end. But that's our main goal, is to keep things as simple as possible. And then, so international markets, this is really cool, because if you're running ads right now and you're starting to run them direct, and they're maybe in the US, what you can go ahead and do is literally with 3 clicks on Shopify, you can set up your entire international markets. So that means that if someone is in the UK and they go to your site, it knows their IP address because they're in the UK, and it will change it over to that currency automatically for them, and it'll go for whatever the translation is between the US and UK currency. It'll do all that for you. You can set it up in 3 clicks for all 175 countries. And so if you have ads that are working in the US, duplicate the campaign, run it for the international countries, you could literally double your sales overnight. So that's a great feature with Shopify as well. And being able to add in those markets and really expand your reach and drive more sales and more profit. With apps, so you've probably heard like remember with Apple, it was like there's an app for that. It's the same exact thing for Shopify. They have 3 times more apps than all the other e-commerce platforms all combined. So if there's anything that you need, typically as well, when we want to keep things simple and seamless, it is best to just stick with a few apps and go for the best apps. What we typically do is Sell Easy is one of them. It's an upsell app, and it really provides a lot of value as well, transferring over to great upsells if you do have extra books, increasing your average order value, things like that. But there's tons of stuff. There's inventory management, there's taxes. It can take care of your or not take care of your taxes, but organize things for your taxes. Do a lot of stuff, reviews, literally anything you can think of, but just obviously try to keep things more simple. This is probably like, yeah, very, very cool. So Book Vault just released an app. All of your paperbacks, it's essentially print on demand, so it'll take care of that, make it very, very easy for you to be able to sell. Book Funnel as well. They'll take care of all your ebooks and audiobooks. It's literally just putting in a SKU. I'm going to show you where you can put that in. But all of this is very simple in terms of being able to integrate in. And it's making it as easy for yourself and for the customer as well. And that's how you can go ahead and scale. So they also have a mobile first design. So about 80 to 90%, depending on the age demographic, is going to be coming from mobile. So they do have a mobile first design to be able to maximize the sales on mobile. And what that was is, I'm going to show you the mobile in a sec, but it's a very seamless experience for users across platforms. They also have I'm not a coder, but they have this thing in terms of their code to where they clean up the code for mobile for people that are going onto your site to make it much quicker to load. And they're also, whenever you set up that site on the desktop side of things, they make it completely mobile responsive, so you don't even have to worry about it. It just takes care of all of that for you. And it's really great at capturing the attention of on-the-go shoppers because it just continues to bring them through the buying experience. A lot of people don't buy when they're out doing something, but with Shopify, it's going to increase the chances of that because it is very, very easy for them to go ahead and make that purchase. So here's a mobile. That's literally the same exact checkout or same exact landing page or product page as previously, but this is just in the mobile version. We didn't even set up the mobile version. This is just how it translates over. So you can see it's so simple, it's so seamless. You know exactly what you're getting on here, and it just makes it very, very easy for your customer as well. So within Shopify, they also have an analytics tool, so you can break down literally anything in Shopify. Obviously, you don't want to get overloaded with data. Obviously, you can look at sales, you can look at orders, conversion rate, of course, too. So conversion rate's very important, so that's right there. You can also look at where the traffic is coming from, what platform is driving the traffic, what products people are purchasing, if certain people are purchasing one product over the other. And it's very easy to know where every dollar essentially is being accounted for and to be able to break everything down. So this is one thing. It's a little bit more advanced, but I wanted to include it. So this is a UTM. Has everyone ran ads, by the way, in here? Okay, cool. So this is a UTM. What this is you can see on the right-hand side right here. So this is a campaign name from Facebook. And this is a campaign name. And so this right here is your URL. So imagine if this was your URL, just the .com, and then imagine if this was the landing page that your product went to, so just whatever it would say right there. And then After that, a UTM is appended. So you essentially would type this part in and you just copy and paste it. This is what Facebook will add in, which is in the end portion as well. But this is what Facebook can add in. And this will tell you what source the sale came from, the audience that the sale came from, the specific campaign, which is the campaign that it came from, and the individual ad that it came from. So it's kind of a little bit different in terms of, I know people are used to running traffic ads and maybe Amazon attribution links, and you can maybe see if a sale came from Facebook. This is just giving you much more data because every single dollar is accounted for. You know exactly where a person came from, no matter what. And so you can see here, you can literally look into every single order and we can see, okay, this person came from this campaign. They came from this source from Facebook. It would show Instagram if it came from Instagram. It shows this audience. We know it came from that audience and we know it came from that ad. So we know which ads to scale because we have exactly the correct data because it's on the URL. And so that all gets pulled in automatically through Shopify, which is great. It really helps scaling. So setting everything up to scale. So jumping into the actual product pages. So what we would have here is when you're actually creating a product, all you do when you're in Shopify is you want to start with building your products first. So you'd click on products up here in the top left. And then once you click on products, you literally just start with building your products. You put in the name of your product, put in a quick description. You could literally just take this directly off of Amazon as well for your description, and then start putting in your images. After that, you can scroll down and there's a portion that says variants. From here, you can literally click on add variant, and then you can start adding in your ebooks, your audiobooks, your paperbacks. If you don't have those formats right now, totally fine. But you can just go ahead and add those in. You can add in the different prices, everything. And what you can see is when you add these variants here, it shows up right here. So you see formats, and this is all making it easier for the customer to purchase. It's making it the best buying experience possible. You can see here when you switch from ebooks to then audiobooks, the image switches, and then paperbacks switches to paperback, and the price is changing as well. Go back through those too if you want to take a picture.
Are we going to ask questions along the way or wait?
I think it's after. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. And then with product pages, so when you're on the product page, you're also going to see this right above the variant section. So what this is this SKU right here has everyone used BookFunnel, I'm guessing, pretty much? Okay, cool, yeah. So this SKU is the same SKU that you put in BookFunnel. That's all you have to do to be able to sell on Shopify is match the SKU. Once the SKU is matched, whenever someone purchases that product, sends them an email, and then they get their book that way. So it's very, very easy to set up. Now as well at the very bottom, if you just scroll to the bottom of the product page, you can also set up all of your SEO for each product directly, which is super easy, super great, and that will help with your ranking on SEO as well. And then on the right side of each product, what you can do is you can actually attach these tags down here. So maybe it's an ebook variation, or it's an audiobook, or it's a bundle, anything of that sort. You can go ahead and very seamlessly just add a tag of whatever type of product it is, and then that plays into your collections. So collections are a little bit different. It's more of the actual collection of your product. You can really set these up in many different types of ways. So you could do maybe you have book bundles, or you have a certain series that you want to include each of the single books. You can, if you have formats, you could have an ebook, an audiobook, a paperback format, anything you want to do. All you have to do right here is where it says product tag is equal to those tags that we just added in right here. You simply just add in the tag and it pulls all of them in as a very simple collection. Then you have those collections set up. Just right there. And you can see here is a very, very easy nav menu to go through. I'm not going to go through the entire, obviously, build out of a Shopify store. That is at the end. But you have a very simple nav menu for people to just search around your site, because remember, this is your own store, so that readers aren't just going to buy one book and then never come back. They're going to come back, and so you want it to be a very simple, it's a fun buying experience like you're buying any other product. You want it to be a fun experience and a good experience. You want to make it as simple as possible for them to be able to navigate around your website. And this does play into the theme customizer. So actually being able to build out your entire Shopify store, this is where the theme customizer does come into play. So if you have around 20 books, if you have 40, it can take a little bit longer, but if you have around 20, you should be able to just, if you work like maybe 2 hours a day on this, should be able to get the entire thing set up in 7 days and selling and performing, because you just want to keep things as simple as possible. But this theme customizer makes it very easy to essentially set up the entire store, your home page, your product pages, everything, and they walk you through it too. So there are over 100 different themes that you can use for Shopify. There's no one certain theme that scales further than the others. It's all about keeping the customer experience as easy as possible for them and just the entire buying experience. We've actually scaled the furthest with the Dawn theme, which is great. It's a free theme, and the reason is because it makes things as simple as possible for the reader, and that's the entire goal with that. So you can always just, it's the auto theme that's pulled in right when you start the store, so you can use that theme to start. You don't have to worry about trying to invest in a bunch of other themes because they can get expensive. You can start with the Dawn theme and start selling. So overall, Shopify is a central hub for your readers, and they're going to continue to get more used to buying from you as they continue to buy from you in the future. They're going to be much closer with you, and this is really an exponential journey to where it's going to continue to increase over time because they're going to get more and more used to buying from you. Shopify will always stay at the forefront of e-commerce. When they don't, I will tell you, and I will tell you to switch to a different platform. Shopify always has had the highest conversion rate from what I've seen. And they're going to always drive the more sales when you set up the store through them. It's the most simple to set up, gives your customers the best buying experience. I just learned the other day actually that Taylor Swift uses Shopify to sell her stuff, so if that doesn't convince you, then. It does integrate with tons of apps. Anything external you might need to add, it will have it, and it makes it as easy as possible. And it keeps saying easy, but it is easy, so you want to keep it. It's very simple to optimize for your brand. And to help you stand out in front of others as well, and to be at the forefront of everything. So obviously I can't show you how to set everything up right now, but if you want to, go ahead and scan this. It'll show you how to set everything up. I'm going to add more stuff to it next week, but it's going to go through Shopify, how to integrate it with BookFunnel, your offer, organic content, Facebook ads, Google ads, all that stuff. Totally free. Just put in your email, I'll send it to you. And that would be it. Yeah, thank you. Awesome.
I have some specific questions, and I'll keep asking questions till someone lines up behind me, and then I'll stop. So probably let me prioritize these. So for variants, I have ebook, paperback, and audiobook tabs at the top, and in each of those collections is only one format.
Okay.
So when you're talking about the variants, if I have book one of my series and I have the 3 variants there, there's not really any way to then separate it into collections, right? Because it's all 3 variants, right?
So that's where you're talking about, okay, so if they click on the drop down and then
They click on ebooks, they're looking for an ebook.
Yeah.
Okay, so they see book 1, ebook, they click on it. Do they also then see down below the variant for paperback and audiobook right there?
So that's where, like that example that I was showing, so that ebook one was the first one. That would be an ebook product. The only reason that we add the variants in there is so that it makes it easier for the customer. So imagine if they were looking for a certain audiobook. They would go to that audiobook and then say they get to the product page, change their mind, they're like, oh, well, actually, I kind of want the paperback. You have the variant there to allow them to switch.
Okay, but when they click on the variant, are they
Yes.
zooming over, like in the background, they don't know this, but are they zooming
No.
over to a different product?
Same
Okay,
product.
so what
Yep.
I'm asking is it better to, so I have collections, I have a tab, drop down tab, ebooks, okay? And so I have a product that shows up in the ebooks collection. But you're saying that if I'm creating variants for that, so a paperback and an audiobook, that means I can't put a product under the paperback collection because the paperback is not a product of its own. It is a variant of the ebook product.
So that's where you would make your own paperback product and then you can add in the ebook and the audiobook as a variant on that product.
But then wouldn't that defeat the purpose of making variants? Is the variants cross-linking? Okay.
They're their
so
own
it sounds
product.
like you're saying make 3 products, one for ebook, one for paperback, one for audiobook.
Yep.
And add variants on all 3 of them?
Yes, so you just duplicate the product across and then just switch it down. So then it would be easier for the customer.
Okay.
So like if they were looking for a paperback, and then they get there and they're like, well, I kind of want the ebook.
Okay.
And they just very simply
But then
click on the
doesn't
variant.
that make it so much more complicated for you on the backside? Because now you could get a paperback order of the same book from 3 different variants. Is that correct?
No, because it's the same barcode. That's how it goes, is by barcode or SKU. Remember when I showed you the SKU? Yes.
Okay.
That's how, so it'll say like, hey, this SKU is on another product.
Okay, so you can have
Totally
the same
fine.
SKU on multiple
Yep,
products. Okay,
totally.
that's what I was missing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Cool. Yeah, that was a great question.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
sorry.
No, I think you got there first.
I've done websites before, and author websites traditionally are more about the author and less about selling our books.
Yeah.
In terms of maximizing customer experience and minimizing confusion, what do you recommend prioritizing on the front page of the site? I know we're going to landing
100%.
pages a lot of the time, but for the front page,
Yeah.
what would you put?
Yeah, so 100%. So I do think that author websites previously have been a lot more about the author because of it hasn't been as much about direct sales. And so it hasn't been actually like selling their books nearly as much in terms of scaling that way. But with the front page, I always recommend having a nice, like this page has been able to scale. So a nice banner image, underneath having the featured products, so your featured products, and then underneath having an about the author section that they can click on, and then it takes them to an about the author page to learn more about you. And then just 3 great testimonials underneath, which there's a testimonial like section you can add in very simply. That has been able to work very well and scale. Yeah, for sure.
Are you running abandoned cart sequences? And then also, have you tested SMS campaigns for authors?
Yes, that's a great question. So, yes, Shopify has a built-in email marketing system. We have started to transition over to Klaviyo. Typically, if you start scaling, because it is kind of expensive, Klaviyo is another email. I would just use the Shopify ones. They do abandon cart. You can customize them. I believe it's free or it's like pennies. And then with SMS, I don't believe they do SMS because we do that through Klaviyo, but we're just getting into starting to test SMS campaigns more because of getting into the holidays. So I would just focus on email right now. But yeah, they have all that integrates. It'll send out abandoned cart. And you can actually drive quite a bit of revenue from that and pick up the customers. Yeah.
Hi, if you have Book Vault delivering the paperbacks and ebooks, can you also create a variant for signed copies that then you would have to ship yourself and it'll direct the ones to Book Vault and ones that you do yourselves?
Yes, so those would stay, they would not have a barcode on them, so they would stay unfulfilled. And so you would essentially go ahead and fulfill those yourself. And so that would essentially just be, your next variant would be the signed copy, and it just would not have any barcodes or SKUs or anything, and it would show up as unfulfilled for you, and then that way you can sign it and send it out yourself. They'll give you the shipping paper. Yeah, well, the shipping label, they'll print that out, or they won't print it out for you, but they'll give you the ability to print that out so that you can just put it on a package and then ship it out right after.
Okay, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
sure.
That was literally my question, so I'm gonna go sit down.
So I am asking a question for someone who's
Okay.
streaming it
Yeah.
online. So for the product page, do you add things like A+ content?
Yes. So we have found, there's been a lot of split testing. We've found that having the bundle or whatever image it is, making sure that it's on the format that it is. So if it's an ebook, put on the ebook, the audiobook, paperback. And then the second image or third image, you want to have how the person actually gets the book, because there's a lot of confusion around that right now in terms of they're buying from a store, so making sure that the email gets sent to them. And then after that, having either popular highlights, reviews, A+ content. If it's romance, having the tropes there, things like that, I would definitely put on there.
Okay, and next question, do you find things like social proof when others buy and reviews help conversion? And if so, what apps do you recommend for those?
Yes, always, anything like that, social proof is going to improve conversions for sure. I probably could go back to this slide specifically on the page, but so Amazon just put into their terms of service for the affiliate program, I believe, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure, that you can't pull reviews from Amazon. So what we're doing is we're actually just adding up all the reviews across all the platforms. And you can see, oh, it's not zooming in on, looking on my side. What we do is we literally just take a block of text and put that on the product page.
Can
add
we
the
screen
reviews.
share from the
Oh,
laptop
yeah,
again?
would you mind? Thank you. Yeah, right here. So right there's the reviews. Right there's the reviews. We just take a block of text and just add up all the reviews. This one has 10,900 reviews across all retailers. Just put a block of text, 5-star reviews, because obviously you want to be honest with your customers. And so that's what we do there, because can't pull the reviews off of Amazon anymore. But yeah.
Okay, so I have easily, this might be the most ridiculous question you're going to get. I genuinely just don't know the answer. I live in constant fear that I'm going to do something, set something, and all of a sudden I'm going to get a bunch of orders from, say, England or somewhere else, and have to ship them out from the U.S. How do you avoid that? I mean, are there others, is there like European-based producers that deal with that kind of thing in like Amazon?
Yeah. So if you're for paperbacks, obviously we'd be talking
Yeah.
about there. As long as if you're hooked up with Book Vault, are you hooked up with Book Vault or?
No, I've actually
Okay.
never heard of them until today.
So yeah, Book Vault, from what I have learned and heard about what they're after they just recently got integrated with Shopify.
Okay.
They have a place in UK that they ship from, and they actually track literally like by zip code of where someone orders, whatever location they put into, they take care of all that in terms of how much it costs to ship, how much the person's going to pay to ship. They take care of everything on that side. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. Even if they're in like Australia, it would say like this. I've had someone pay like $150 in shipping just to send an order, but like they'll put all that. So I would look into them because then you wouldn't have to worry about it. And then for ebooks and audiobooks, you can sell anywhere. Just email. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
If when you set up shipping on Shopify, if you don't put that country in, they can't buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unless you put England as a country that you'll ship to.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I want to be able to ship everywhere.
Right. Oh, you're saying.
I'm actually just more concerned that I'm going to switch something, because I never underestimate my ability to do something stupid. And I have some sympathizers. Yeah, so.
You have to put all that information and prove it, because I have people who are like, I went to go buy the product, like from England, let's say, and they're like, I went to buy the paperback bundle, and it won't let me.
But it sounds like with Book Vault, that actually alleviates a lot of that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, this is Anne-Marie. She's up. That's her. She's like very.
That's her?
Yeah. She's very legit. She actually pretty much she did a lot in terms of the direct sales space. She was one of the pioneers for it, and so huge props to her for like everything. By the way, join our group. It's the Building a Book Empire. We just give like free information. So that's the other part. But go ahead.
Okay, 2 quick things. Is there a value to using like Book Vault or Book Funnel for the ebook versus just the digital download within Shopify?
Yes, the digital download is just, the readers aren't as used to it, honestly. And it just kind of makes it for not as the best customer experience that they could have. And so I would just use BookFunnel. Also, the more authors that use BookFunnel, the more used to it readers are getting. And like same thing.
Which is awesome.
Exactly, yes, I agree.
I've been using it for a while, and it's so much easier, like even
Yes.
in the last year or two than it
Yeah.
was 4 or 5 years ago.
Same thing with audiobooks too, because they have to download the app at that point. And so they're just getting more used to it over
Okay.
time. Yeah.
And then is using PayPal payments only good enough, or do people really want that Shopify payments?
Yeah, because it's typically when you have PayPal, you're gonna have quite a bit less sales. I would just make sure you set up the Shopify payments to be able to take credit cards. Pretty much if you can set up all of them, you're gonna have the best chance. It's again, just playing into how easy can I make it for the reader to actually get the book. So yeah, I would recommend setting up all of them.
Okay, thanks.
So, speaking of not underestimating my own stupidity, if, for example, I need to update a book, like I realize I left out a chapter, there's just typos I need to fix, is there a way to like have that automatically update for the reader, or like once someone's bought a product, is there a way for me to update the product they've already bought?
So with BookFunnel, I don't believe so because they download it. after the email's sent, and that would kind of bypass the Shopify side of things, because that would be on BookFunnel's side. If they've downloaded it, no. I'm not too sure, actually, if they're reading on the BookFunnel app, maybe it does. But if they downloaded it, I don't think it would. You just have
Is
to
there a way to get in touch with people who have
Yeah.
like, if there was like a
Yeah.
major issue, like a missing chapter, which
Totally.
I've certainly never done before. It was an entire short story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I had a new audio version recorded, and you can send a campaign through BookFunnel to everyone who's ordered it.
Oh, there you go. If anyone can hear online too, she said she sent an entire campaign. That's awesome. What'd you say? For the whole new version of the audiobook. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay.
Thank you.
There you go. Yeah, of course.
I have a children's book that I'm going to be releasing,
Oh,
and I'm sorry. I have a new children's book that I'm going to be releasing, and I have somebody building my site right now, and I've got it listed to be Shopify, but should I be putting like an ebook version of that on Amazon to attract attention?
Yes. So
To just do the ebook on there, and then have the link to Shopify for the hardback?
Yeah, that is, I would 100% do that. That is one of the coolest things with direct sales. That was a different talk, but as you start scaling your direct sales ads and using the pixel and it's finding readers that want to buy from you, your Amazon sales 90% of the time will go up because people will search you up on Amazon. So I would 100% put it up there as well.
So how do I present that on there? Is it that the hardback would be available? I don't understand how that works.
Oh, so,
So I have a physical hard book
yeah.
available, or will be available. How do I make that when it's presented on Amazon? You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying you're selling it on Shopify?
Well, that's the goal.
That's the goal, yeah. So I would just put it up onto Shopify. And if they buy it from Shopify, that's totally fine. Some people are just more comfortable with buying from Amazon. And so they'll literally just, leave the site, go to Amazon and buy right away. So-
I guess I'm not following. I'm saying, so if I'm on Amazon and I have my ebook on there,
Okay, yeah.
and then I also have a hard book, a hardback available, how do I do that on Amazon, that it's not going through Amazon?
So you're not doing print on demand on Amazon?
No,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
So I have Amazon Advantage set up, so how do I, I'm still confused. I'm a newbie.
No,
Amazon to Shopify.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that.
I don't think so, no.
So I just listed on both?
Yeah, you just list on both, just to make it as easy as possible for them. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Thank you all so much for coming out. Cool.